folks, we're here with some beautiful ladies from the University College of the Cayman Islands. They're going to be telling us a little bit about the International Accreditation Council for Business Education, as well as some exciting news about upcoming events, and of course, UCCI, available to people of the Cayman Islands for higher education, always has enrollment efforts underway, so we're going to hear a little bit more about those as well. So for our audience members who may not know who you are, please go ahead and introduce yourselves for me.
My name is Belinda Blessed Vincent, and I'm the Dean of Business and Finance at the University College of the Cayman Islands.
Okay, beautiful.
And I am Annette Murphy. I'm an assistant professor at the University College of the Cayman Islands.
All right, wonderful. So recently we heard through the grapevine some amazing news regarding your accreditations. Of course, the University College of the Cayman Islands ensures that it keeps as many up-to-date accreditations as possible, because this is something that's really important for students as well as faculty.
It
right?
is.
Yes.
It is.
So one of the accreditations that you've had recently renewed is the prestigious International Accreditation Council for Business Education. So the Board of Commissioners for that have certified the University College of the Cayman Islands, and in specifically the Department of Business Studies. So tell us a little bit about what this accreditation is all about.
Okay. I guess I should provide a background first.
Yes.
So the International Association Council for Business Education, which was founded in 1997 in response to the express needs of presidents, chief academic officers, business deans, and chairs who wanted an accreditation process that was mission-driven and outcomes-based. So what this association did is that they are providing specialized accreditation to business programs. So at the university, we have an institutional accreditation through ASIC.
Right.
We also have accreditation for a nursing program. But our business division decided that we also needed a specialized accreditation. So we went through a very intensive self-study process in 2017. And we were able to get our programmatic accreditation.
Okay.
Now, 7 years later,
Right.
we had to go through another process, a self-study again, where we look at all the principles, and Dr. Annette will tell you about those. And in April, after a very rigorous self-study and a site visit in January, we had to send in a report of all our findings, and guess what? The Board of Commissioners of IACBE decided to grant the university this specialized business accreditation once again.
Wow. So you talk about how rigorous the process was. Dr. Annette, perhaps you could speak to this. What were some of the components that the faculty would have been really focused on to ensure that you met the highest standards of the commissioners?
Well, thank you. Everybody was involved, the entire university and our stakeholders. So what we do, we have a self-study year, which is the year before we're going to get the site visit. And we have to ensure that everything is done according to the IACBE regulations. We have to ensure that we have all our syllabi, we have all faculty members, whether we are full-time or adjunct. We have to get the their credentials, all the credentials. And then we would have all samples of the students' work, exams, all of those must be ready, because we have to go according to the principles of IACBE. And there are 9 principles which our self-study had to detail information about: the commitment to integrity, responsibility and ethical behavior. We had to look at quality assurance and advancement. We had to look at strategic planning, business curricula and or learning opportunities. We had to look at the business faculty characteristics, the activities, processes, not finished. We had student policies, procedures, and processes. We had resources supporting business programs, all our external relationships, and innovation in business education. And we touched on each of those. So when we talk about a self-study, we're talking about a document 200 and odd, and then you're talking about thousands of pages in terms of all the appendices that have to accompany the self-study. We also had to do the outcomes assessment plan, which we're following. We also had to do a forward-looking, which is showing them where we're heading. So it's all about continuous assessment and improvement and so on.
Yes.
Rigorous. It was rigorous.
Wow. Very rigorous and
very rigorous. And what she's not saying, that after that self-study was submitted, then we had to do what is called a technical review, where we sat down with IACBE representatives who went through our self-study and, you know, provide guidance. And then after that, we had to re-edit our self-study, resubmit. And then following that, a couple months later, we had site visitors, persons external to the university who are IAC members, who work at various institutions, and 2 of them were assigned to our unit. And what they did, they had the self-study, and they came to see if what we wrote was what we were doing. Verification.
Right.
Wow.
And in that process, we had our students, our past students, our industry partners. They spoke to persons in student life, in the library,
IT,
our faculty.
And
I could not sit in with the faculty, just in case they were saying something about getting rid of me.
The president, the vice president,
and balances, and to make sure, as you say, the whole verification is properly done. And of course, that speaks to the quality of this accreditation. Let's be honest, because not all accreditations are created equal.
No, that is
Those of us
true.
who have experience in academia will know that that is the case. So, you know, there are potential students and members of the community who are listening to this interview now who might be wondering, well, why is it important for the Department of Business Studies to even have an accreditation at all? So let's speak to what a prestigious accreditation such as this actually brings to the university.
You know, what it does, it provides evidence of quality.
Yes.
That's number one. Because what we are now, we can now benchmark with the best institutions in the United States and the world. Because this council do not only do the United States. We have members in Latin America, in Europe, in Africa, China, Asia, you know, we have a lot of members.
Wow.
So that's one, evidence of quality. I think the second one is that we're able to share best practices. And even when you look at one of the principles, which was business innovation, which by the way, we got top findings. They were totally blown away by some of the stuff that UCCI is doing. Right? And we can share a bit, our Shark Tank, our International Business Practical.
Experiential learning. They were really impressed with the experiential learning aspect of it, because there are times when you have universities where, or colleges, and they struggle to find experiential learning to include in the innovation principle section, because we are also site visitors. So they were really impressed that we have our study abroad thing and the Shark Tank, and we have our student consultancy program where the students go out to help with small businesses. They were very impressed. That was one of the top points that we got.
And they talk about our relationship with our industry partners.
Especially the advisory board.
Especially the fact that we had an advisory board, and you know, they met with members of that board, you know, and they were totally impressed at the way in which we work together for the benefit of our students.
Yes.
And
so let me just clarify what I understand you to be saying, because of course there's the sort of book part of any degree or certification, right?
Yes.
But then the practical components of it and the partnerships. especially when it comes to business
Right.
and finance, right? That is so critical because people need that real world application, if you will. So that really is where you guys were meeting some very high marks.
Right.
As small as we are, don't
Yes.
forget.
Yeah, and we got commendation because part of this process is that they will give you commendation, and we got commendation for that.
Wow.
Right. So, you know, best practices, evidence of quality, and most importantly, I think, public accountability. Because we have to place evidence of our work on our website. So when someone click on our website, right, there's a link that will take to say that, A, we're accredited,
Yes.
and you know, we have factors like our retention. What is it that we are using now, Annette, on our web pad? Is it which criteria are we using?
Retention.
Or retention.
Rate.
Okay.
The fact that we have retained our students at this university.
Right. Okay.
We have to show that every year.
Every
Every
year.
February, we have to calculate the retention rate, and that must be inputted. And we also have to submit information like on an annual basis, so the accountability is enhanced there as well.
Right. So how often is the accreditation done? It's a period of 7 years.
7 years.
Is the maximum that you can get it for.
Right.
Yes.
But
Right.
within that period, like
Midpoint.
mid-year, we have to do an interim quality assurance report, right? So the next 3.5 years, we'll have to do something similar to the self-study again.
Right.
And even before that, Annette spoke about a forward-looking outcome assessment. So we have to look at our program, look at our goals, and we have to develop actions that we are going to do to ensure that the students learn, right? So each year, as a team, along with our industry board, we have to meet to ensure that these outcomes are being properly assessed and that we are achieving the results that we set forth. If we are not, then we revisit them and we change according to what is happening.
Right.
There's
So
a very-
continual assessment and reassessment
Yes.
and reapplication of these
Yes.
standards.
Yes.
Right.
And we want to ensure that we stay current and we're relevant.
Yes.
So we meet regularly. As a matter of fact, we're going to be meeting. It has been so hectic in terms of our schedule and so on, but we have a program review that's planned. We're going to have a retreat, faculty members, in
August.
as soon as we get back,
Yeah.
because we have to revisit our programs, as we say, to be relevant, and we're ensuring that we're meeting the needs of the community, of our stakeholders.
Right.
And our stakeholders are very involved. We have an industry board of 10 representatives from major industry on island. So we have representation from marketing, from finance, from the Chamber of
Banking.
Commerce, from banking, and
Retail.
they sit with us twice per year and review our curriculum and talk to us to say, you know what, these are sort of obsolete now. Let us start looking at maybe stackable credentials or micro credentials. Let us start offering maybe more finance, short courses, because we
Right.
have persons out there who don't want to be coming here for 3, 4, 5 years.
Yes.
They just want to refresh. So let us start looking at that.
Or hands-on information that
Right.
can benefit them.
Right. So I really, you know, have to give a shout out to our board members, to our alums. That's another thing we do. We do focus groups. So we invite our alums who have left like 3 years ago,
Right.
and we also invite employers. So every year, once a year, usually when the academic year is finished, right, maybe just about August, September, we invite them back to speak with us and ask, you know, what do you think about our programs? Are they
Yes.
still relevant? What do you think about our students who have
Yes.
graduated?
Okay.
You know, what are they lacking? Communication skills? All right, we need to talk to the division about that and see how we can help them, you know. So we might be I think maybe the best hidden secret, and I really want to thank you for coming in so we can
Yes.
tell everybody what is happening in
Yes.
the university and our division.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's important, you know, as people who are committed to lifelong learning, to know that you can never stop,
That's it.
right? It might not, like you said, be another 4-year degree. It might not be another master's or PhD, but learning it's forever, really. You know, I was listening to a podcast a few days ago out of India, and they were talking about, you know, what's going to make the difference, especially with all this AI and technology, and are people going to be losing jobs to, you know, artificial intelligence. And it was so interesting because the guy actually said something which I thought, it always comes back to the relevance and importance of education. So he said, listen, technology isn't going to replace people,
Not at all.
right? It's only going to replace those individuals who cannot embrace the technology themselves. So you make yourself relevant, you make yourself
Good point.
employable, and you know, just a continued asset to your family and your community if you keep up. You have to remain relevant.
Yeah.
And so that's education in a
That is
nutshell
education.
anyway.
And that is, you know, I recently finished an AI course with IBM. And at the end of the course, one of the main things that came out of it was upskilling. That was the central point. They are seeing, just like what you say, the technology is not going to really replace people. You know,
Yes.
people just need to upskill so that
Yes.
they can move along with the technology. And I think that is what we at the university is doing and will continue to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your specific business studies and the business and finance division.
Right.
What are some of the courses that you are offering to, you know, prospective students?
Okay. So in the division, we offer 3 different programs. We have the associate degree program, the bachelor's, and the master's.
Right.
So in the associate, we have 2 AAs, the
AAS.
2 AAS and 1 AA. So we have the Associate of Art in Business Administration and the Associate of Applied Science in Business Administration and Accounting.
Okay.
So that's the associate degree. In the bachelor's, we have the bachelor's in Business Administration, and then we have concentrations. So we have concentration in management, marketing, human resource management, finance, accounting. Am I missing any?
Marketing.
And marketing, right? And then we have minors, and minors in all of those, including economics.
Okay.
And then in the master's program,
Yes.
we have the master's in human resource management, and then we have 2 executive masters, one in business administration and the other one in public administration. Those 2 are offered through the Commonwealth of Learning. And the Commonwealth of Learning is headquarters in Canada. And they offer this program, the same program, in all the Commonwealth countries. And even though technically we are not in the Commonwealth,
Yes.
we lobbied them because we knew that there were a lot of persons within Cayman who would want to do a program. They're busy working. And that's the thing with
Right.
executive masters, that it's usually good for persons who are working.
Yes.
So we decided to offer those 2 programs,
Okay.
right? So those are the programs we have. Now within all of those programs, we have the banking.
Cayman Banking Certificate,
Okay.
which we do in collaboration with the Cayman Islands Bankers Association. So this certificate is really offered, well, it's granted by CBE, but they do all the courses here.
Okay.
The major thing is that we have the introduction to banking course where they come, and those are taught by industry persons from finance. So it's not about us teaching, so they're getting hands-on current information. You have to do 7 courses to complete the banking certificate, but there might be prerequisites that are necessary. For example, if you're going to do business communications, you might need some background information,
Right.
college composition, So it's in your best interest that we would suggest you do some of those prerequisite courses.
And you can also customize them.
Customize them, yes.
Right. And the student consultancy?
And then we have a student consultancy program where our students the students who are doing the concentration in management, usually in their final year or close to, they will find that they will go out. We do this with the Cayman Islands Center for Business Development, and then we'll find small businesses and they will go out and work with them for 10 weeks. Assist them in a needed area. So most times it's marketing, you'll find that they need, this is cost-free to them.
Wow.
They do not pay these small businesses,
Yes.
but they benefit.
Yes.
They do.
And we can get the testimonials of these persons who have benefited from this program over
Wow.
the years. And we've been doing that for more than 10 years now.
Wow. Okay.
And work with Cayman National.
And yes, Cayman National sponsored it, but I'm not sure. When some persons leave an organization, you know, sometimes there's a lag there, so we need to mend.
Chase that up a little bit.
And then we have
Yes.
the International Business Practicum, which is our
Right.
study abroad program.
Where we go to different countries each year and we
Yes.
learn about the country. And then what the students will do is to apply the knowledge here to see the relations that you'll find. What do we do similarly? How can we improve? What is it? So some of these students should actually be talking to some of our ministers, because we have gotten some
Yes.
useful information
Very
I think
over
the next
the
trip I
years.
need to tag along. I've heard it's very good.
Yes.
Ooh, yes, and you know,
Yes.
I know
Full
you
coverage.
speak fluent Spanish.
Well, not fluent.
And we've been to some of the Spanish-speaking countries.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
And
Yes.
another thing that we have been doing, and during COVID, we had to stop it, but we do have a hedge fund course, which we collaborate with the Community College of Nova Scotia, and they bring down students, and we also have students, and they came back after 2020. This year, we renewed it. And what I must say, and you might be thinking that I am just talking about our partners. Our partners are so good to us.
Amazing.
So for 1 week, those students, we got involvement of, Ernst & Young, Maples, KPMG, MUFG, Butterfield Bank, SEMA, all of them came and allowed the students to actually enter their workplace, Sitco, and get experiences. They were able to get various presentations and just see how the hedge fund is working in Cayman. So these students have gone back to Canada thinking that, let me see how I can maybe, continue hedge fund. And we're hoping to take our children to Canada as well.
Wow. So you talk a lot about partnerships.
Yeah.
And I think that this is so important for our audience to understand how in education partnerships can really be so incredibly beneficial to the students and faculty, right? So over the last couple of years, there's been quite a few where Caymanians have the opportunity to go abroad and get degrees, scholarship opportunities paid, in full. And then there's the exchange program where sometimes people are coming here. You're talking about your business partners, industry partners as well.
Right.
So just tell us a little bit more about, from your perspective, why you think those partnerships work and why they're so incredibly important.
Our program, as Annette was saying, we want it to be more applied, more experiential. A lot of time in universities, it's very theoretical. Getting industry partners involved, bring the real world experience to the student, whether it is them coming into the classroom to do a presentation, or students going out to do some shadowing, or internship, or the industry partners doing presentations within their own organization. The student get a more practical field of the world of work. Because here they're specializing in business and finance. Some of them are not working in business and finance. But the reason for coming here is that they want to go into that field.
Yes.
So if they can get a feel of it from our partners, even before they start experience, they can decide, is this what I really want? or wow, this will be my dream career. So that's one. Having industry supporting us is also, it shows that we are valued, right? That the program that we have is quality. Because they're able to, they would not support us if we were not providing quality business and finance education, right? So public accountability, again, quality assurance, the fact that the university is producing Caymanians, and by the way, the majority of our students coming here are Caymanians. And one thing your viewers should know is that the industry are always asking us, do you have any students? We need your students. And sometimes we don't even have any students because the students we have are already working.
Yes.
I just
So
got a
the
request.
recruitment,
Yes, we're doing actively.
opportunities.
Yes.
Wow.
And the students get positions. We have students, even before they leave, a company has already taken them. And then other companies, KPMG, I hope they don't mind me calling them, but they're an example. They come in every year and they do presentations. They tell us about their summer internships, and they want our students. And we have a number of students. If we should really do, where are they now? We have students in all the industry at various positions. I'm a proud, if I want to say mama, of these students because I've been here for over 20-something years. So I've seen my students flourish and grow. And that's something about our business alums as well. They give back. Once they're out there, they give back.
Yes.
And I think, Annette, you can talk about the Sigma Beta Delta Society that we have.
Right. And I was going to add to your point, in terms of the industry, they will work with us because that's how we are going to stay current and relevant. And they know the needs within their industries, and so they're able to communicate that to us. We are proud of our students and their achievements, and so we have the Sigma Beta Delta, which is our honor society, where as long as they obtain a GPA of 3.5 and above, they are honor students. And so we give them the option of joining to become a part of the Sigma Beta Delta, and we have had about 3 inductions so far.
Oh, wow.
And
The next one we'll invite you.
I was going to say
Sounds
Dr.
good.
Melinda can say she's a proud grandma now. I don't know if she said mama.
On to the second generation.
Because I have
Yes.
seen children of students who have
Yes.
thought coming now. So we're not mamas anymore. We're now getting to be grandmas.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we're doing things. We're
Yeah.
doing things.
That's fantastic.
And something I think your audience should know, because you asked us about our programs, our industry partners, and just speaking with our industry partners, one of the things that we have found is that sometimes they have employees working for them who might not have a first degree, but they have a wealth of learning, a wealth of experience. So one of the things that we are moving forward with is our prior learning assessment. And you might ask, what is that?
Yes.
What we do is that we give credits for experience, for learning. And we are going to be on the platform again talking about that. But what we do is if someone applied to the university and they say to us, for example, I don't have a first degree, but I have worked 10 years in human resource management. I see where you're offering a course called Strategic HR. But I can show you that for the last 10 years, all the objectives that you have listed there, I have evidence to show you that I have learned those. We
Right.
ask them, there are several ways in which you can show. You can challenge an exam. So we could give you an exam. And if you pass the exam with a B, you get the credit for the course.
Okay.
That's one way. So we call that a challenge exam. If you did some training in HR, strategic HR, you can bring evidence of that. We assess that. If everything ticks off, you get the credit for that. And then there's another one where you can do a portfolio. So for one particular objective, you might have done a short course. You give us evidence of that. For the second objective, you might have done a project. You give us evidence of that.
Okay.
Your boss might want to give you a testimonial to say that, you know, for number 3 objective, oh yeah, she has been doing that for 5 years.
Right.
You can put your CV in it. You can put your LinkedIn in it.
Wow.
You present us with that
Yes.
portfolio. We have someone who checks that off. This person is eligible. They get the credit for that.
It's wonderful because it's for mature students.
Mature students.
Yes. And
Yeah.
you know, you can get into a program, get started in getting that degree without having to do a lot of the foundation courses.
Exactly.
Which you would, you know, be easily able to, as you say,
Right.
either assess out of or show evidence of competencies.
And even for our executive masters, if you have 5 years of experience, managerial experience, you can start that program. 5 years.
Wow. So I know there are people who are sitting there going, oh, wow, I've been working 25 years, my entire adult life. A lot was different back then. You didn't need a piece of paper to get started in a lot of organizations, and people just moved their way up in the organizations as well. So this is forcing them not to go back and be in a class with like 17-year-olds.
Exactly.
Trying to start all over.
Exactly.
They can elevate themselves and
Yeah.
get some real world credits.
Get some real world credits.
Towards the various degree programs and
Right.
certifications. Yeah, that's fantastic. So you've got a couple other things that are upcoming. So let's talk
Okay.
about events now. And of course, we want to touch on people who are interested in getting more course information, how they can go about that. But let's talk about your upcoming events first of all.
Well, I know Dr. Belinda is going to talk about the open house tomorrow, but I have to talk about our upcoming regional conference.
Yes.
Now, IACBE, we are part of Region 11. And so every year we have a regional conference. This year, the conference is going to be in the Cayman Islands.
Beautiful.
We're actually going to have it in a hybrid format because
Okay.
Region 11 looks at or takes into Latin America and the Caribbean. So we know everybody would not be able to come. So we're doing it hybrid. But people of the Cayman Islands, this is it. We're actually going to have it November 21 and 22 because in addition to our regional conference, the university, we have been looking at a technology summit. And so we're going to be combining the regional conference with the tech summit, and then it's going to be called AI the Way Forward. Fusion of business and technology. Promises to be exciting, and I'm telling you it's going to be exciting. So more information will be forwarded as we go along, but definitely something to look forward to.
Yes, wonderful. All right, that sounds exciting.
And then tomorrow
Yes.
at the Government Administration Building,
Give us the date now, because people might go back and
that
watch
is
this.
true.
Yes.
Tomorrow, June 6th.
Yes.
Right. Tomorrow,
Yes.
June 6th. Tomorrow, June
Thursday,
6th.
June 6th.
Starting at 11:30 to 2 o'clock. Our university, including the Business and Finance Division, will be at the government building. I think they're going to set us up in the canteen area,
Okay.
right? And it's an open house where persons can come in and learn more about our programs, not only the Division of Business and Finance, but also,
university.
you know, all the programs offered by the university. But I would tell the viewers to just come to our table first and then to the others. Not really. But yes, so that is going to, and what we
Yes.
want to do is just to promote all our programs to not only the government workers, but to anyone who is interested and would want to know about, you know, how do they get registered for programs? How do they get admitted? What are the first steps? You know, what do they need to do? So we are going to go through all the processes. There's also, in the background, we'll be talking about our weekend school. So that is going to be starting in fall, where we'll be offering a lot of micro credentials, a lot of short courses. So, you know, I'm sure, Sandra, when Dr. Liv who is our VP Provost return, he will want to speak to you about that. But if persons but if persons come out tomorrow, we will, you know, be able to provide some information on some of the courses that we are thinking of offering. And a lot of professional certification. Most of the courses will be 6 weeks, and it's on Saturday and Sundays, so persons can access accordingly.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. So lots of exciting things going on. And of course, let's talk about your registration now for the upcoming term. And what are some of the things that people need to know, how they can go online, find the course outlines, and register?
So once you go on ucci.edu, www.ucci.edu.ky, once you go on that, you will see the admissions tab. You click on that, and then they will say apply now, right? Usually you would have an idea of which program you want. If you don't know what program you want, you go back, you look at future student, it will take you to the various degree plans. You can look at those plans and decide, do I want to do a certificate program? Do I want to do a degree? You know, then you go to the apply now. That will take you through the process. It will tell you what documentation you need to upload. Once that goes in, you will get a response from the admissions, which will tell you whether you have, you know, whether you have been approved, whether you need additional documents. I think the admission cost for the undergraduate, which is the bachelor's and associate, is $25. That's the application fee. And I think for the master's, it's $50. You know, and everything can be paid online. If you are not good with online, you can come on campus. We will have someone to help you in the admissions office. Right? So that's the process. Once you are accepted, we give you an advisor, a faculty advisor, who will sit with you and work with you in deciding the courses you want to do for fall, right? So if they go online, I think the application, they can go ahead right now. I think all application close August 2. Right? But in terms of some courses, it might be a little longer, right? So I would say... And
that's for the fall semester.
That's for the fall semester. That's for fall semester.
Yeah. And what cycle is UCCI on?
Okay, so we have fall, which is roughly 4 months. We have spring,
September
4 months.
to December.
Right, which is January to April. And then we have 2 summers. So we have a summer that takes in May and June, and that's roughly 7 weeks, right? But that's 7 weeks, you still do your 45 hours. It's just that it's more intense. So instead of having maybe 2 classes of per week, you now have 3 classes, you know, per week. And then we have second summer, which is July to August. So we have several options for students. Usually the second summer, students will do a lot of foundational courses to prepare them for fall.
Right. Okay.
But it's really the first time, though, we're offering the second summer this year.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes persons might be hearing us and saying, whoa, they're getting excited and they want to start the university. Instead of waiting until the fall, they can actually start in July. Foundation courses, that's a good time.
Get those out
Start,
of the way.
yes, and then you pick up in the fall.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So lots of exciting things going on, generally speaking, at the University College of the Cayman Islands, folks. Of course, specific now to the Business and Finance Division and Business Studies. They've gotten their accreditation recertified, and very, very proud moment for them and their entire university, and of course the board must be very, very proud, and everybody's putting in a lot of hard work to be able to hit these markers.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, ladies.